Well, this is a Sharp air conditioning machine. And somewhere over here there's a tag. Maybe we can see some numbers on that. AF-S85RX. Does that say 8,000 BTU? Anyhow, this is out of one of my bedrooms. And I'm redoing the room, so videos might be sparse as usual. Trying to get some honeydews done. Anyhow, probably post a little bit of that at the end of this video possibly. So I want to go ahead and try to tear this thing apart and service the fan. I noticed it was noisy. So let me get a outlet up here that can handle 15 amps, and we shall turn this thing on and see what it does. One moment. All right, so I've got a kilowatt upside down, as you can see. So let's plug this in. And it does have the LCDI receptacle right there, or LCDI plug, I should say. Leakage current detection interrupt. Let's try to go just with watts, possibly. If I can find it. No, that's not it. There we go, watts. And we'll just turn this thing on and see what it does. Power. And just the fan is 136 watts. And we'll see if the compressor kicks on. Oh. Listen to the fan stop. It sounds like it's grinding, so I think it just needs a little bit of lubrication. So, yeah, it's just noisy. Hopefully it's not affecting the microphone too much with wind noise. Anyhow, that's just the fan. The compressor has not come on yet. But yeah, it's noisy. And this thing is probably 10 years old. I wonder if there is a date over here on the side possibly. And not seeing it. So I'm thinking over here on one side of it, you can see there are some screws. There's 3 of them across the bottom. There might be a couple across the back and some more up here on the top. There's where the fan actually mounts. So a couple of screws there. So I'm thinking this whole top will come off. Then I believe there's a piece of styrofoam inside to act as an insulator. So let's go ahead and I'll pop these screws out and then we shall be back. One moment. Now, well, after about 30 minutes of taking screws off and taking the front off, and taking the main control board out of the unit, as well as the customer control board out of the unit. You may notice that some of these are unsoldered because I wanted this to be in a fixed fan speed and a fixed temperature. I think I did go ahead and resolder the temperature, but as far as changing modes, I had a younger one that would get this thing off in Never Neverland and it wouldn't cool. It would be just like on fan. So I went ahead and disabled some of these buttons, which I will be re-enabling them. But anyhow, after we got the screws out and everything, take a look at the condenser back here. Yeah, that needs to be serviced. That needs a garden hose and possibly a pressure washer treatment, as well as the evaporator up on the front. Even though it has a filter, it's got quite a bit of crud in here. So I think I'm going to go with the garden hose on the back side of it and just try to blow it out, as well as a garden hose from this side, which looks fairly clean, but garden hose facing this way to try to get some of that crud off, because I'd say that condenser is probably at least 30 to 40, maybe almost 50% blocked with crud at this point. So yep, let's go ahead and hose this thing off and see what happens. One moment. Okay, so there's these 2 temperature sensors. One of them is the one up front that detects the ambient room temperature, and I think this goes back over here and it detects whether there's maybe coolant loss or something. Anyhow, I went ahead and put them in a Ziploc bag and then tightly taped the leads up right here just to keep water from going in there, because basically I'm going to hose this whole thing out. All the electronics, like I said, are completely out of the unit, so I'm not really worried about getting any sensitive electronics wet. Everything else I can just blow out with a shop vac. Okay, well, hosing time. One moment. Okay, English or metric? I'm betting metric. I have English, just in case. Thinking probably an 8mm, which I think is this guy right there. Yes, it is an 8. Oh, fits like a glove. Now is it going to give up? And is it keyed? I don't think it's keyed, because I saw the other blade. Well, it might be keyed slightly. Yeah, I think it is. There we go. Just got to get that off, and that should lift off. A couple washers, a clip, and then the flinger, which I think has seen better. Yeah, it's seen better days. It has become one with the shaft, unfortunately. Well, I'll try to get some of this crud off of that shaft, since obviously we won't have a flinger in there anymore. That just kind of takes the moisture and throws it away. Oh, this one's going to be a bigger one, obviously. 10. Oh, yes, look at that. First try. Get that one back on there so I know where it is next time I need it. Oh, this one might need a little bit of oh, it's left-hand thread. Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, no persuasion needed. It's just left-hand thread. And, oh, look at that. Comes right off. No flinger on that one. Well, actually, there is one. It's on the inside of that little cone right there. Do you hear that? Let's see if I can get the microphone a little bit closer. Yeah, motor should not be that loud. It should be silent. Hopefully with the addition of a little bit of lubricato, it will be much better once again. Okay, let me see if I can get this thing torn apart. One moment. Okay, I do have the motor separated from the housing, and I did go ahead and clean up the shafts to get all the crud off of them as best as I could. I think it's going to be okay. And I made a note on here, right side, so that is going to be the right hand thread. So as you tighten it, it's going to suck this thing in like that. And then over here, the L is for wrong side thread, which when you tighten it this way, it sucks it in. So wrong side thread, right side thread. So I've got a couple of wrenches. I've got a 8mm and a 5/16. Let's see if we can bust these things off. Maybe. And nope. How about with a Phillips and an impact? That got her. And obviously the ground screw goes where the ground symbol is. So is this going to give up? Is there some place that I might be able to pry this apart somehow? Maybe? I'd rather that this stay on the other side. Maybe if I push down. Seems to have some kind of an O-ring here. Because that's the wire side, and I don't want to pull on that. I'd rather this stay on that side, if at all possible. Maybe take that O-ring off first. I have a feeling it's wedged in there. Oh, this may not happen. Not going favorably. Not what I was looking for. Well, I guess if it's going to play that way, we'll cut that zip tie, and then hopefully we can pull the wire out of the sleeving by that much, maybe. And we can shove that in there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Oh, it's got an actual bearing in it. Holy crap. So it's got two bearings. And they're both dry as a popcorn fart. So it's got two spring washers that go on the wrong side. Make some mental notes of that. I think we can probably just fill these bearings up with oil if we can get the covers off. Oh, that one's bad. Doesn't even spin. That one's still pretty good. It does spin, so let me try to get a little knife and pop the cover off on one side. Maybe we can load it up with some oil, or even hit it with some brake clean and then load it up with some oil. I was just planning, I thought it was going to have bushings. I was just planning on using some SAE30, some basically lawnmower oil. But yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, let's see if we can go ahead and pop this off somehow. One moment. Well, it might be kind of hard to see, but with the help of a little screwdriver, I did manage to get the covers off of both of the bearings. And that one's a little scored up. They're definitely not bright and shiny. This one is in mint condition. Look how shiny the balls are. You got shiny balls, brother. But yeah, this one's a little bit used up. Unfortunately, I don't have another one of these bearings laying around my house right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack these up. You know what? It doesn't really matter. I've got some ceramic for disc brakes. This is good stuff. I've actually used it in VCRs and whatnot. It's really fairly good grease, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to pack. If you can see what I'm doing. Trying to pack it down in there. Anything's got to be better than what it was. Try to distribute it around just a little bit. Trying to force it down through the balls. And I'm going to say that's pretty good right there. We'll go ahead and pack the other one the same way. Okay, well, it's as good as it's going to get right now, because that's all I've got, and I need to get this thing working, because it is going to be hot, hot, hot here in Northern California. It hit in various parts of the town. I was out doing some shopping today. It hit 110 degrees, triple digits. Well, let me know when it gets up into 3s and 400s, and then we'll talk. Anyhow, let me snap these things back together and reassemble this thing and see what happens. One moment. Okay, sorry about the background noise. I have the house fan on because it's actually cooler outside than it is inside by a degree or two. Anyhow, here is the keyboard. And so we'll turn the power on. And I think the fan is on low at that point. Medium fan, you can see it there. And high fan. Definitely moving some air. So let's just see what we're pulling in the way of current here. I don't remember what it was previously, but we're at 150 watts right now. Waiting for the compressor to come on. Which should happen shortly. I will cut away until the compressor does kick on. One moment. All right, the compressor is on, 563 watts, 570, 573. And I do feel cool air coming out here. And I do feel warm air coming out of the back. So I'm going to say this might be a success. Only time will tell. Sorry about the background noise. Let's turn the fan down to low. And I can certainly hear the compressor. Suction side is cold. And the discharge side is warm. So I know this thing is actually working. Only 580 watts. That's not that bad. Definitely cool air coming out right here. And got warm air coming out in the back. All right, let's power this thing off. Still a little tiny bit noisy because of that scored bearing, but I think we're going to get several more seasons out of this thing, if I had to say. I just got to put the styrofoam piece back on top here. It just sits there like that, and then put the covers back on it and reinstall it in the window. Okay, well, that's going to be it. The Sharp, I don't know the model number. Anyhow, the Sharp 8000 BTU air conditioner. Servicing the fan motor bearings. Everyone have a great day. Once again, thanks for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Incidentally, just in case you're curious, when this thing is off, it draws 0.6 to 0.7 watts. So let's get some other numbers up on the screen. What is the power factor? 0.55, 0.51, 0.59. Not that great, but it's just in standby. 0.6, 0.7 watts. All right, have a great day. Thanks for watching once again. Bye-bye. All right, well, it's all completely back assembled right now. The front is on it. The filter is in it. It's been running for about 5 minutes. It's nice and cool. And if I can get my meter up here, you'll see that it's running at 705, 706 watts. So, gonna call it a win. Not as quiet as I'd like it to be. Maybe I'll press a new bearing onto that shaft one day. Anyhow, that's it. It is the Sharp AF-S85RX. Saved from the recycle bin. Once again, everyone, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. All right, well, this is our second master bedroom that we're ripping the carpet out of and going to put the same flooring in that we put in the living room. I have a cat that lives in here most of the time. She had a tendency to want to mark, so we're ripping the carpet out, putting in the vinyl flooring again, so everything should be good. I got to refinish that cabinet right there. We'll sand it down just a bit and put some fresh stain on it. And I've already started. You may have seen this on the bathroom. I went ahead and restained that cabinet. Came out absolutely perfect. Just very, very nice. Got my little teeny tiny thing of stain right there to do the other one. Got the medicine cabinet out. Lights are off. And yeah, vents off. Fart fan removed. And then somebody had a tendency of marking down in this little hallway right here. So it's one of the other reasons that we're taking everything out. But going to go ahead and completely repaint this room. It was a light blue, and we're going to put it back to the original white color. But yeah, another home improvement project coming right along. Okay, update since the last time we spoke. If you made it this far, then you'll know I finished this air conditioner. It's working pretty good. Anyhow, it's going back up in that window that's taped off right there because I just got done painting this room from the blue that you saw in the previous video back to its original eggshell color, I guess you would call it. And everything's removed at this point, including the turlet sitting in the tub. Having a good time over there. But yeah, I went ahead and redid this whole room. The mirror's done. We're going to get a new mirror because the bottom had a little bit of staining. But yeah, everything is good. Still got the tape to take down. I got to do the trim as time certainly allows, which I haven't had much of. I did go ahead and restain this cabinet, as well as you saw in the last clip. That cabinet right there has been restained. I went ahead and put up a couple of the units, the air conditioner vents, because we don't need to be heating or cooling this room. There will be a video on this fart fan sometime. I just gotta find time to make it amongst all my other projects and my full-time job. But anyhow, that is where we are on this home improvement project. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.